Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Brr.
It's a little chilly. It's warming up quite nicely,
Yeah, it started off 27 degrees at the bus stop this morning, and
Yes.
the sun is helping out a lot.
It was 31 degrees when I went to town. Me and Domino took a ride to town this morning to get some go-go juice. But y'all getting a little sneak peek today, guys. Look what's behind me.
Man,
We did not finish yesterday, but we came very close. We got about
very.
2 hours today. I'd say at the max if everything works out right.
Yeah.
To get this done. But we decided that we would multitask this morning.
This is a working keeping it real, guys.
Yeah. And this is the most tedious part of this whole project. We got these little screws. I don't know if y'all can see them. And these little plastic washers.
It's insane.
And each one, and I do mean there's a couple of thousand to put this thing together, has to be put on like this and then screwed in. And they're tiny and they're just a pain in the rump shaker. And this is very tedious.
And when it's cold, you know, it's hard to use your fingers.
And it was cold yesterday. And you'll see on the Come On Homesteading video of this build here, I was the one that did a lot of this tedious stuff right here. And that's different for me because normally I'm the one moving and grooving and screwing and beating stuff and all that other stuff. So for me to have to just stop and do this right here.
But honestly, it was a lot easier for me because I've already done it. So I know what pieces are going to go where. I know, hey, there's going to need to be more hands than just mine on these pieces.
Yeah.
And somebody has to put these. I'm going to show you guys. Look at this. Somebody has to take these little bitty screws and these little bitty washers and put them together.
And we're talking about thousands. At least 1,000. And that's no exaggeration at all. But I say thousands because it felt like thousands.
So long. And then
we would have been done if it wasn't for this step.
And then when you finally get like a whole bunch of them done and you just go to work, like 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, you need more.
Yep. I came up with this nifty little styrofoam trick right here. Especially with on the roof, we could just set it on the roof with us and grab as we go.
Yep.
So we don't have to go up and down the ladders.
Yep, that was a good idea because when I was doing it, I was like pre-making them and then bringing them up there and putting them up, but they kept rolling down the roof, you know, and I was having to find stuff to try to do it. This is a great idea.
Yeah, it's I tell you what though, the old patio shed, I am impressed with it. I really am. The quality seems to be decent for what it is, and they've done a pretty good job with all of their drilled holes and all that other stuff. It's literally like a big Lego type thing or whatever. And as long as you go into proper steps, it seems to be working quite well, I would say. And there's a lot of space in there.
It is.
A lot more than you would think.
Hey, Uncle David was like, I can stand up in here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. I can't stand up all the way to the corners because of the slope. But down the center and stuff, I can maneuver in there just fine.
Right.
So I think it's going to be a game changer. And honestly, if Patio Well wants to work with me again, I would be glad to do another one. Because it's a huge money savings to me. And it gives me a little bit more of a permanent structure for storage around here.
For sure.
So, and storage is the Achilles heel of doing what we're doing right now until you get established. It's something that I have struggled with since I have moved into this cabin was no storage. There's no closets, there's no shelves, there's nothing. No pantries, no hall closets because there's no halls.
Living out of boxes.
Yeah, living out of baskets and boxes. And which makes it impossible to get organized and stay organized. You can get organized, but it's impossible to stay organized. And so that is going to be the theme moving forward from the patio well. The patio well shed is the kickoff to that because that is something that I really want to focus on for the winter because you spend a lot more time inside in the winter.
Right.
So I want to get all of that organized. Right after this project, probably the very next one I'm starting is the closet in the tiny house.
Okay.
Get that situated because clothes is a huge deal, especially winter clothes. It's so big and bulky and
Takes up so much
and
room.
you layer up. So in all reality, you're wearing like 2 or 3 outfits a day, you know, all at one time.
Yep.
Especially this joker, he puts about 12 layers on.
Hey, today actually I didn't have 2 pair of pants on. For the last 3 days I've had 2 pair of pants on. But I knew it was going to warm up quicker today. But I do have 2 shirts, a sweater, and my jacket on. But I think I'm going to take the jacket off soon.
I have 3. I have my tank top. I typically wear a tank top up underneath my shirt.
Right.
All seasons. It's just something I've done since I was a teenager. That or my white tee.
Yeah.
You know,
and my white tee.
Back in the day. And so I do have 3 on right now. I have the light jacket, the long sleeve shirt, and a tank top. Normally now at this time of the year, I do have long johns on up underneath all the time. But today I just got sweatpants on. We're going comfort today.
Right.
We're done with the on the ground stuff and all that. So
don't have to worry about the up and down.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be too dirty. So
Yeah.
I decided to go with comfort today.
My knees did get a little dirty and cold in the dirt yesterday.
Yeah. Yep.
Now I got a song that's stuck in my head. Bang in my white tee, claim. Golly.
I done messed him up for the day, guys. But as you can see, as we're working through this, that's where I'm at so far. Very tedious. Very tedious.
We got enough to do like 4 panels.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and fill up these and talk to y'all. And I think it's going to work out to where as soon as we shut this camera off, we can get to work and get this knocked out because I've got to do some editing. And speaking of editing,
Wah, wah.
computer still is not working great, guys.
Golly.
Still is not handling the files and stuff. I did switch to a different format with filming this right here, which should alleviate the problem, per se. I'm thinking, because I don't think it can handle the resolution that I'm shooting in with my new cameras. Although it should be able to.
It should be able to.
With the specs and stuff that I've got in that machine, it should handle it just fine.
Well, our computer is rocking and rolling. However, we don't shoot anything higher than 4K. And yours, your specs, your graphics card, your memory and RAM and everything is like better than ours. So
Yeah.
it should be able to handle
I have
more.
double the amount of RAM. I have about the best graphics card that they put in there. I think there's one more above that's the cream of the cream.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I have like the 380. I think you got like the 380i or the 360i or
I have the best processor that's on the market right now.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's not ideal. But at least while I'm working through this problem, if I drop back down to 4K and it'll allow me to edit, I can alleviate some of my headache in between repairs.
Okay.
Until we get it.
Right.
You know, and then I can use some of the other footage that I've already shot, that I've already made videos on to test to see if we've gotten to where we need to get.
Okay.
But that way it will stop slowing it down. Because, guys, this month on Come On Homesteading is the least amount of videos I've put out in a month in probably a year and a half.
Dang.
Since I was working full-time and doing YouTube full-time.
Really?
Yeah, it definitely was a very slow month for videos. I mean, I've been putting them out about every 5 days.
Right.
Normally I put them out every 2 to 3 days, you know. So that hurts with revenue. It kind of messes up the flow of the
build.
builds and projects and stuff like that.
Right.
And also it backlogs me on stuff, which in turn takes longer to get out, which means that I'm already way past that.
Right.
And I try to, I mean, there's always going to be a delay on the edited videos, guys. I mean, it takes time to film, edit, and produce and all of that. So there's always going to be a delay. Unless we had a team that was working at the same time we're building,
Right.
editing down the videos, you know, of the hours and stuff. and that's not feasible.
And guys, keep in mind that's a reason why we're able to, over at DD5, we're able to put out videos a little faster, is because we actually are a team who one half does one thing, one half does the other, where Uncle David is by himself and he does everything by himself. So just in general, it's going to take longer,
Yeah. And I still produce more than most.
Right.
That, and also I've been trying to slow down a little bit. That's played a little bit of factor into it or whatever. I'm trying to have a life.
And and congratulations on that. You really have done a good job, because I thought
since September
I thought you were just kind of get back into your ways, guys. You know what I mean, guys? His ways, just back to work. We gotta work. Like, holy smokes, take a break, man. And now it's like, relax, chilling. Oh, this ain't getting done. We'll get it done. No big deal.
Yeah.
Doing social things, living life. I'm like, man, I'm so proud of Unc.
Yeah, I've been trying. It's been wearing on me. All work and no fun. It'll wear you down, for sure. And so I've been, it's the holidays time, right?
Yep.
I'm sure after the holidays I'm gonna kick it up a notch for sure. But I'm just trying to enjoy it a little bit and get out there and social interaction. Something that I haven't done a ton of this past year because I've been working my butt off, except for my very close-knit family.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, making big changes and still producing quite a bit, I think. I think we're still accomplishing a lot. So that's a big one. If I'm not accomplishing, I'm going to get in my mentals.
Right.
That's just part of my DNA. I feel like I have to progress forward, or else I start getting in my feelings thinking that,
not enough's happening.
Yeah, I'm being a loser, being irresponsible.
Deadbeat. He's a deadbeat, guys.
Being irresponsible. So it's a balance, right? And I think I'm finally starting to get a handle on that balance, which is cool. It's exciting for me. That's why I moved here.
Right.
So to start getting to that, and I'm going to tell you what it is, guys. It's comfort. I finally got to a level of comfort here that I have not been able to have since I left modern America, and I think that's a big thing for me. Everything's not a struggle to do now. Still a couple of things like dishes and cooking, but we're going to get there.
Oh, man. Dishes. That was a trigger word.
Yeah. I hate dishes, guys. I will clean your toilet, sweep your floors, dust your tables, clean your ceiling fans, all that other stuff. But I hate washing dishes. I owned a restaurant, right? I've washed every night dishes, pots, and pans to the ceiling. You know what I mean? And after I shut that restaurant down, I really became anti-dishes.
Right.
I eat a lot of paper plates and just disposables, right?
Right.
And which ain't the best, I know, but it is what it is with what I got going on here. What do y'all got going on?
We actually today we are releasing a big video. Our video coming out today is going to be like pretty much our New Orleans visit. I mean, we're gonna bring you, the viewer, the subscriber, downtown New Orleans. I'm talking about Canal. I'm talking about all the way up downtown, all the way to Bourbon Street, and you're gonna see what New Orleans really looks like. And then after that, tomorrow we're gonna be having our trip when we got into Florida. All of our work we put on our very first property that we bought by the river. We're going to be showing that off, and then on our way back. So that's coming out back to back.
Tomorrow is a big day here on the mountain. The video that I will have coming out tomorrow, because it definitely ain't happening today. See, I almost lost one. Is a couple of adventures that I went on, and also processing my first deer here on the mountain. Not my first deer processing, but my first. Do you need those?
Yes.
First deer here on the mountain, and Gary helped me so he could learn because he just got his first deer, ever, and never processed one or anything like that. So I showed him how. And tomorrow, Gary is bringing his deer here, and we're going to set up the processing station again. And we're going to process Gary's first deer.
And I am going to volunteer services because I want to get in on that.
Yeah. And maybe Anthony will come too. And it'd just be a guy thing. If we had 4 people here, we'd blaze on through it. It's quite the process with 1 or 2 people.
Right.
For sure. So having an extra set of hands and with an extra knife going, it's going to make a huge difference. And it's always a good time. Just fellas hanging out, just, you know,
we always have a
talking
good
smack,
time hanging
you
out.
know,
Yeah.
when we're doing our time lapses, you know, put a little music on, you know, shake a little tail feather, something like that. So it's always a good time, and it's always very satisfying to see something that you went out into nature and harvested yourself, and then you end up with all this packaged, ready to deliver to feed your family type stuff.
It was like how I felt just after doing a really good job and impressing Mike from 3 Mississippi with my fish filleting skills, and then I ended up filleting everybody's fish.
Yeah, it worked out great.
And I felt proud about that.
Yeah, Gary was part of filleting the fish too, so now I'm giving back in another type of process.
Right.
Let's see here. How you doing, Mike? Let's do a screw count.
Screw count. Oh man.
Show the people. I didn't mean to count
I
them
thought
right
you
for
wanted me
real.
to count them.
No. We're getting her done. I'm almost out of room.
I'm grouping mine a little bit closer. You got a little bit of space.
Well, you could tell that I've been the one that's been doing this for the last 2 days because I'm pretty fast at it at this point. Oh man. Let's see what else. Oh, seen 4 deer at the feeder yesterday from the bathroom window, which is always cool to be able to sit there and brush your teeth and watch some deer down there eat. And I'm gonna try to get back in the stand. If I don't make it this evening, definitely in the morning. That's another thing, just with things being busy. I haven't been able to hunt.
Right.
And I had the dogs up here and stuff, and that's just a lot of movement and a lot of noise and stuff like that. So it just, I wasn't seeing as much deer, so there wasn't really no point in me putting all that time in. Because, I mean, you're talking about 3 or 4 hours a day in the mornings, and then 3 or 4 hours in the evenings, just sitting. So that's like 6 hours of not getting anything done.
And I know my dogs are loud, so it was probably 5 times louder up here than it typically is.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100 times louder. I mean, it's normal. If I got the generator off, it's like silence, unless it's food time.
Right. Yeah.
Then Chanel won't shut up. Chanel is one loud, annoying goat, guys. She's a. I know that old White Rock Homestead loves Chanel.
Yeah.
And if I was to ever get rid of her, or if I was ever to get rid of, well, when I get rid of the goats that's not babies that's coming up, it would probably be Chanel if I got rid of one of the older ones.
Right.
You know, because, man, she's the most vocal goat I've ever heard in my life.
I didn't know goats could be that vocal. I mean, of course they're loud, but man, she goes on.
Yeah, it's nonstop. That girl got some stamina. That girl got that stamina. Man.
We are going to be finishing up the insulation on the bottom of our camper.
Yeah, it's about that time. It's made a big difference, though, right?
It is. It's halfway finished, and it's definitely made an impact. We can tell for sure.
Woo, we're coming down to the end, guys.
To the end.
Let me know if you need more washers. I got all of them in my hand.
All right. The goats are just down there eating up a bunch of dead.
Yeah, I got my yard goats out today. I'll probably be moving that here soon. I'm trying to wait for general gun season to be over with before I disturb that area. Because they're pretty close to where my big buck blind is. The only place that I've seen bucks so far is in that area. So I'm trying not to disturb that area right now and mess up hunting season.
Right.
And as soon as that, they're moving again. They're moving again. This winter, I am going to take a break on any kind of building type stuff and really focus on infrastructure. I probably won't get the fences up this winter, but I at least want to cut the fence rows.
Okay.
You know, that way I have it all gridded out like I want and cleaned up and ready before springtime when everything starts growing, and then you have a whole lot more mass of stuff to deal with.
Right.
I mean, you see how much we ended up with y'all's place down there clearing. I mean, there's mountains of stuff everywhere. If we did it in the fall, it probably would have been at least a quarter less.
Right.
I don't know if it'd be exactly half, but at least, yeah, at least a quarter less than what it is right now, which makes a big difference.
Right.
When you're talking about limbs and branches and all that's what's happening. Got Domino over there laying in the sun, chilling.
Basking.
Still haven't had a spot in a rider. It's getting to about that point where it's he should be coming around the mountain
Right.
here soon. I think the longest he's ever stayed is like 10 or 11 days. And I think we're at like day 5 right now. Somewhere around there, maybe 6. Well, I am out of screws.
Uh-oh, I'm coming down to my last one.
Ooh, look at there, guys. We are ready to get it in. All we have left here is we've already put 4 panels, 2 on each side on the roof back here. We have the rest of the roof panels to do. And side by side. Yep.
Hey.
And then the doors. And then this is a done deal. I'm still gonna need to secure it to the base there.
Oh, right.
I haven't quite figured out how I'm gonna do that yet because I don't think these papers are strong enough because they break very easy. So if I try to drill in them, more likely they're gonna crack.
Yeah. Well.
So I'm probably gonna have to do some hurricane straps or something off to the side right here and band it and then screw it in.
Okay.
And make something like that work is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's the goal anyways. That's the goal.
Listen and I were actually just talking about in the future when we move our sheds where we're thinking about.
Yeah. Which will be coming not too far in the future.
Not too far. Thinking about a circle driveway.
Woo! All right, guys. Thank y'all for joining us. See, 22 minutes to do all those little bit of screws right there. Hey, but y'all helped us out, and I appreciate it. I love every single one of y'all. What's today? Wednesday?
Hump day!
It's hump day! Hey, take a big step towards your goals today, guys. Make sure that you reach out to somebody you ain't talked to in a while. Maybe do something nice for somebody. I love every single one of y'all, and always, guys, keep it real. Come.